Okay, so welcome back. It's Thursday. It's time for another Thursday Trish Talks. Today's topic is going to be myth busting. So I've got my laptop next to me with some notes, and basically I'm going to kick off with what is trichotillomania, because if you've clicked on this video and you don't know what it is, it's basically a mental health condition where somebody compulsively pulls out their hair, and it generally results in bald patches or a lot of hair. You might feel the urge to pull your hair from your scalp, your lashes, your beard. Basically, it's just pulling of hair from anywhere on your body, and it's classed as a BFRB, which is a body-focused repetitive behaviour, which is basically where you repeatedly pull, bite, pick at some part of your body and it results in damage or distress. For me, mine is pulling at the hair on my head, particularly on these two patches at the back of my head, occasionally around the sides here, but it's mostly from the back. I do have a patch around the back that I've been showing a lot recently where the hair has grown back very nicely. It's blending into the rest of my hair now, which is really good. A question that I get asked quite a lot is, has the texture of your hair changed? And no, but yes, like it still feels the same, but it's now got like a little bit of a wave to it. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a slight kink or curl to it, which is really strange because my hair is like, I curled my hair yesterday, but my hair is naturally super straight. Like it air dries with a slight kink, but then as soon as I blow dry it, it's mega straight. Yeah, the texture of my hair has slightly changed on that spot that's growing back. So back to the topic of the video, myth busting. Why is myth busting important? Basically just because there's such a stigma. Like people will literally say to you like, just stop pulling your hair, or like you're doing it for attention, and it's like, no, why would I pull my hair out for attention? I'm not actively doing this on purpose because I want to do it. Like, it's not something that I realise that I'm doing most of the time. It's when someone else points it out that I realise. And for a lot of people, you get almost like a dopamine hit from it. Like, it feels good to do it. It relieves stress. It's not they're not doing it for other people, they're doing it for themselves. So myth number one is that it's just a bad habit, which that's not the case. It's not like biting your nails. It's a mental health condition with urges that you cannot control. That's how it's characterized. For a lot of people, me included, you feel compelled to pull out your hair without even thinking about it, and it's one of those things where willpower won't fix it. Like telling someone just to stop won't do anything. It's like telling someone with insomnia it's like telling someone with insomnia to just sleep. Like that doesn't work. They're not just going to sleep. That's an issue. They're not just going to be able to just put their head on the pillow and like go to sleep. Like that's not how it works. I know that for me and for a lot of people, I feel a physical tension and then release from when I pull out my hair, that's not casual fidgeting. That's like a psychological urge to do something. It's like that reward response almost of when I pull out my hair, it feels good, which sounds really, really bizarre. Or like sometimes I've noticed a pattern that if I have a headache, pulling my hair out is the only thing that seems to soothe it. I feel like I'm doing something good for myself, even though it's obviously not good because you end up with bald patches and it's just not a good thing to be pulling out your hair. Which is why for a lot of people it helps to get medical intervention, so things like CBT and habit reversal training that help people to try and break that cycle of the habit and the behaviour, not just telling them to just stop. Myth number two is that people just do it for attention. And this is one that I hate, because why would you pull your hair out for attention? Why would you actively want bald patches for attention? What kind of attention is that going to gain? And I always feel like the people that will make that comment are the ones that think the world revolves around them. Like they think that you're pulling your hair out to get their attention. It's like, what? Why? Like, how does that compute? Like, that does not make any sense to me. It's also the thing of most people that have it try to hide it. They don't want you to actively be able to see their bald patches. Like when mine first became noticeable, I was dyeing my hair a really dark shade of brown, and it was just really glaringly obvious against the contrast of my skin. So I went on a mission to try and remove all of the hair dye from my hair, because I just felt like removing the dye was going to make it less obvious. Like my hair tends to grow through quite light. I'm not even sure if you can see, but if you see those strands of hair there, like it could just come through naturally quite light. So I felt like if I could get back to my natural colour, that it would be less glaringly obvious, those bold patches. And yes and no, it worked. Like it was slightly easier to hide now that I'm back to this colour, but I mean, if you've got bold patches in your hair, like that's not the easiest thing to hide. I think the biggest thing is that most people that have it are dealing with it in silence. The amount of comments and messages that I get from people, particularly on TikTok, where they're like that they've struggled with this for 30 years, they've been so ashamed of this for 30 years, they try to hide this, is really quite astounding. And it's really sad, but there's also this element of the people that have been there and experienced it want to help other people to break the cycle and just provide like support network for people that are struggling with it, because they know how harsh other people's presumptions and the myths can be. Myth number 3 is that you must be anxious or stressed all the time, which this is a bit of a conflicting one, because yes, stress and anxiety can be triggers for hair pulling, but it doesn't mean that you're constantly in a state of stress or anxiety. I know for me, there are certain situations that trigger that stressful response inside of me, which then does trigger me to pull my hair, but it's not a constant, I'm not in a constant state of stress. There are particular situations that I know I try to avoid, but obviously there are certain things that you can't avoid so that I don't get triggered by them. I've got the hiccups. Another thing for me is boredom triggers it. If I'm watching TV and I'm not engaged in what's on the TV, I'll be pulling my hair. Or if I'm doing work on my laptop and I could be zoned into the work on my laptop, but I'll still be pulling my hair. I don't know why that is. It's really bizarre. The reason that I will notice that I'm doing it is because I will see hair on my laptop and I'm like, oh shit, why is the hair all over my laptop? And then I'm like, oh, that's why. So it's not just as simple as just calm down and stop, as many people think it is. There are those urges and those subconscious responses from your body that make it hard to just stop. It's a combination of those neurological responses, emotional responses, sensory responses that all kind of tangle into one, which make it really hard to just stop and to just snap out of. Okay, myth number 4 is that if you really wanted to stop, you could just stop. Which again, it goes back to the other habits and the saying of if someone has insomnia and you tell them to just sleep, that's not going to work. It sounds really unreasonable until you experience it, and I think that even people that know other people that are struggling with it still don't kind of comprehend it. And there is that element of, even if you know the triggers of for someone, there is still a misunderstanding that you can just stop and that you're actively making that decision to pull at your hair. I guess it does sound really weird, like how I'm sat here and I'm like, when I pull my hair, it releases that tension. Like I don't know how to explain it other than if you have a headache and you take paracetamol and you feel that relief and like the headache subsides, that's the feeling that I get from pulling my hair. It's like my brain feels really, really tight, or like my scalp feels really tight, and then I pull at my hair and it soothes it, it releases that tension. It's just the way it's wired into those behaviour patterns, and I think because of the release and the relief that I get, that's what makes it so hard to just stop. Is that it feels like it's, I've said this before, but it feels like it's doing something of not good, but it's helping, it's easing me, it's soothing me, so I carry on doing it. Which again, it comes back to the neurological, the psychological. That is why it takes management strategies, it takes therapy to actually see sustainable change and changing of habits. The 5th and final myth is that you just don't care about your appearance, which this is not true at all. If anything, I'd say it makes you more aware of your appearance, because you know that other people can probably see your bald patches, and particularly like in public, if it's people that don't know you and they see them, they're probably thinking, why does she have a bald patch? Or like, I get conscious when people are behind me, because quite often my patches of growth will sort of like kink and stick out, and I'm thinking, I wonder if they're thinking, wow, she's got some bad hair going on. And just because it is impacting the way that someone feels about their appearance doesn't make it any easier to stop. I know for me, like when one of my patches in particular was at its worst and I was the most self-conscious of my appearance, it didn't make stopping any easier. It made it feel amplified because I knew that it was on show, but it didn't really drive any change in my behaviour. I'd even go so far as to say, like, the shame and the anxiety made me pull more, because when I felt those feelings I would reach for my hair. So I'm reaching for my hair, which has led to those bald patches, which has led to me being conscious of my appearance, which I'm then feeling that feeling, so I'm then pulling my hair again, and it's that vicious cycle of pulling, feeling stressed, pulling, feeling stressed, and it's really hard to break. So if you're watching this and you have heard these myths before, I get it. It really invalidates your experience. It makes something that's already hard even harder. It makes you feel like shit. It makes you feel like, am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to myself? Why can't I just stop doing it? It makes you feel pressure. It makes you feel guilt. It makes you feel like you're affecting other people because of other people's negative responses. But the truth is, you are valid. It is a real condition. It is a mental health condition. It is not something that you or anybody is actively doing as a means of getting attention. You can find support. You can find those people that you can lean on that will help you push through it and try and help you to build those healthy coping mechanisms. And if you are struggling with it, reach out to your GP. Yes, the services can be quite hard to come by. Yes, there's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through, but trust me, having those talking therapies, having those sessions, even if it's just to help you learn coping strategies, even if you don't open up about anything, even if it's just the CBT style sessions, do it. Accept. I think the hardest thing can be accepting help and feeling like the help is going to actually help you, because you can sort of feel that there isn't anything that's going to soothe it or help you stop. I still feel like that now, to be honest. I still pull my hair. I still haven't been able to kind of kick it out completely. There are things that still trigger me. There are days where I will be sat and then I'll stand up and there's just a pile of hair next to me and I didn't realise that I was actually doing it. And for anybody watching this that doesn't have it and they still don't get it, please educate yourself. Don't just assume that you know something about someone. Be kind. You never know what it could be, why they have a bald patch, why they have patchy hair, why you see them pulling out their hair. Like, you don't know what someone is going through, and people are so quick to judge and make assumptions where assumptions aren't needed. So that was just a little bit of a chit chat about trichotillomania and hair pulling and the myths, but also the impact that the myths have on people that are struggling with the condition. And it's not something that is widely understood. It's estimated that between 1% and 4% of the population in the UK have it, but there also are a lot of people that struggle with it, that aren't coming forward for support, that don't know that this is what they're struggling with. So those estimates are quite conservative in that sense, but if you are struggling with it, just know that there is hope. There are things that you can do to help yourself. There are people that you can lean on for support, and my messages are always open if you want to talk to me, and I can help you when it comes to just reaching out for support to people around you, talking to the people around you about it, or with just what to say in your doctor's appointments to get your voice heard. Feel free to send me a message. And I feel your pain. It is real. It is a mental health condition. Don't let anyone make you feel like you are invalid, that your feelings are invalid, that your thoughts are invalid. And thank you for watching.